Squid Game, the South Korean Netflix series, held us in a vice grip when it was released in 2021. Written and directed by Dong-hyuk Hwang, Squid Game is about a titular tournament where around 450 people, all in desperate financial conditions, play games they used to play as children, but now with higher stakes. If you win, you'll be given a life-changing amount of money. If you lose, you die. The dystopian message of the series was embraced by a global audience who all recognized the privileges and inhumanity of the wealthy hosts of the game who enjoyed watching the games like a TV show, ignoring the plight of the players. So is Squid Game real? What inspired Dong-hyuk Hwang to portray such a bleak picture of humanity? Let's try to answer these questions today in this video. Before we go into explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means an awful lot. Thank you, and let's begin. The real-life inspiration. Dong-hyuk Hwang was a struggling scriptwriter around 2008. While he searched for investors to develop his script, his mom and grandmom took loans to sustain their livelihood. During those days, he spent a lot of time browsing Japanese survival mangas and fantasized about being able to pay off his debt by winning survival games. Out of his desperation, the first draft of the Squid Games was born. The main character of the series is Ji-yeon, played by Lee Jung-jae, who is a laid-off worker addicted to gambling. In a later interview, Dong-hyuk Hwang revealed that the protagonist of the series was inspired by the bloody Ssangyong riots of 2009. The Ssangyong Motor Company in January 2009 suffered massive financial losses, and the management decided to cut costs by firing 2,600 employees, nearly one-third of the entire workforce. The laid-off workers barricaded themselves inside the factory and protested. Soon the protests turned bloody as tensions rose between the police force and the protesters. Basic facilities like food, water, and electricity were withheld from the workers, who threw Molotov cocktails as retaliation. The riot police began using electroshock devices on the protesters. An elderly worker died of a hemorrhage inside the factory. The police brutality during this strike left a massive scar on South Korean history as the country struggled with an ongoing economic crisis. The fear of losing one's livelihood overnight, the desperation of the workers, and the struggle to live is perhaps what Dong-hyuk Hwang took away from the Ssangyong riots. Now that we know what inspired the Squid Games, let's take a look at everything that Squid Game has inspired. Squid Games in Abu Dhabi. The capital city of the United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi is famous for a lot of things, from Ferrari World to the Guggenheim Museum. Abu Dhabi has something for everybody, but recently it was in the news for hosting the Squid Games. Without the murders, of course. The Korean Culture Center of UAE held a Squid Game for 30 contestants in its Abu Dhabi office. On October 12, 2024, two teams having 15 players each participated in 4 out of the 6 games that were first introduced to most of the world through Netflix. Players wore t-shirts for the show's logo to play the Dalgona Candy Challenge, Red Light, Green Light, the paper-flipping game called Dakji, and Marbles. The staff carried out the tournament in two-hour sessions while wearing red costumes like the guards in the show and were armed with Nerf guns. Unfortunately, the winners were not offered any cash prizes, but they did get a customized green tracksuit.
The player has a device strapped to them that when they're eliminated, it pops. Chris, you want to have a chance at one?
Squid Game by Mr. Beast. With unbelievable global popularity, many began to dream up their own Squid Games, and during Halloween of 2021, internet searches for Squid Game costumes topped the charts. So it is no surprise that Abu Dhabi wasn't the first to host a Squid Game copycat. It was first imitated in real life by Jimmy Donaldson. You will recognize him with his on-screen name, Mr. Beast. Titled $456,000 Squid Game in Real Life, the video was released on November 21st, 2021. Within just 3 days, the 25-minute video had amassed 100 million views and became one of Mr. Beast's most watched videos ever. It wasn't an easy endeavor for Mr. Beast either, as he spent nearly $3.5 million. While $1.5 million were given away as cash prizes, the rest of the money was spent on engineering sets identical to the show. All the 456 contestants wore detonatable bags of fake blood, which popped whenever they were eliminated. The winner, player number 079, won a whopping $456,000.
Just take it.
No.
Squid Game, but make it real. Capitalizing on the show's popularity, Netflix soon launched its own real-life remake, Squid Game's The Challenge. Produced in the United Kingdom, Squid Game The Challenge was a reality show with 456 participants, the second largest cast in reality TV history. The show opened applications for everyone all over the world with just one condition. They must be able to speak in English. 456 players were weeded out of the 81,000 applicants, and shooting began in two locations, Bedford and Barking. The show took 16 days to film with a budget of over $10 million. Although the players of the show did not face death, they had $4.56 million to potentially win. For red light, green light, the contestants wore trackers that helped cameras spot them if they moved. They also wore packs of black ink, which resembled squid ink, to pay homage to the series that burst whenever they lost. Built over 3 months, the Young Hee doll of red light, green light is 13.7 feet in height. The guards in the show choreographed their walk so that they always walked in unison. The showmakers would probably say that the hardest challenge to make was the dalgona cookie challenge, as they had to make the perfect dalgona cookie. The cookie had to be strong enough that it did not crumble altogether, but also weak enough to break off with the right pressure. It took almost 19 recipes to perfect the cookie. The show wasn't without its controversies, as news reports of ambulances being scuttled in and out of the shooting site soon began to circulate. Contestants alleged horrific shooting conditions. Some said that the red light, green light went on for over 7 hours, and they were forced to hold poses for 30 minutes, while some others alleged that the games were rigged or biased. Netflix denied all these rumors, telling news outlets that the claims were all over-exaggerated. The show was won by Mai Whelan, or Player 287. Would a real-life Squid Game be even possible? All the copycats of Squid Games had one thing in common: they lacked the brutality of the series and severely misunderstand the point of it. Squid Game is a commentary on our post-capitalist society where the poor get poorer and the rich get richer. The appeal of the Squid Games is the plausibility of it all. Think about it. Our current society is extremely similar to the dystopia shown in the series. The poor and the middle class are desperately grasping at straws and are ready to do whatever they can to earn. Meanwhile, the 1% are so wealthy that they're running out of ways to spend their time and money. There are thousands of private islands owned by the wealthy, which are barely governed. If someone was corrupt, rich, and immoral enough, it would not be too hard to create Squid Game on one of these islands. According to the World Population Review, nearly 500,000 people go missing each year just in the US, and that is just the reported cases. Surely it would not be hard to abduct 460 willing people. These scary statistics are what makes us at Marvelous Videos believe that the Squid Games are not far from plausible. Truly scary. Marvelous verdict. These are all the ties the popular show Squid Games has to our non-fictional world. While all the reality shows and games have gained their own modest popularity, there is no doubt that they all missed the point of the show. It is not really about the games, but the desperation of the poor players. So, do you guys think the Squid Game can ever exist in real life? Which one of the games do you think would you be an expert in? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.